Good evening, members of the committee, applicants, agents, staff, and members of the public. I now call the Committee of Adjustment meeting for January 15th, 2026 to order. Before we proceed with this evening's meeting, I would like to advise that item 5.3 for application B23A1725RF has been deferred at the request of the applicant's agent and will not be heard this evening. The application will be brought forward to a future Committee of Adjustment meeting. Anyone in attendance specifically for this item is welcome to leave, as it will not be discussed tonight. As this meeting is also being held virtually, I will remind you that the meeting is being recorded and streamed live via the County of Brant YouTube account. Is Rebecca online? Okay. Any Committee of Adjustment members may be joining online. Rebecca Smith is, I believe. So please use your camera so that the applicant's agents and members of the public can identify you. Should a connection or service interruption occur that affects quorum of the committee, a recess for up to 15 minutes may occur. That won't happen because we have all members present. Applicants, agents, owners, and delegations may also participate virtually. Please ensure that your screen displays your name correctly, your camera is off, and your microphone is on mute until you are called upon to speak. Any public delegation will have 10 minutes to speak to the current application. Any members of the public attending in person must complete the sign-in sheet in order to receive notification. If you speak on any item, please come to the podium and speak into the microphone and understand that your name will appear in the meeting minutes. If you wish to receive a copy of the committee's decision, please contact the County of Brant Planning Department. This meeting is held in accordance with the provision of the Planning Act, which requires notice of the public information meeting and the public notice sign to be posted. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss minor variance and consent applications and provide those in attendance the opportunity to provide feedback. A copy of the meeting agenda with all related materials is available on the County of Brant website. Once the presentations, public hearing, and question period are complete for each item, if the committee deems it appropriate, they will make a decision which is final following the 20-day appeal period. The order of delegations are as follows: planning staff report and recommendation, the applicant agent presentation, questions and discussion, public comments, further question of clarification, and then the decision. I'll now start with item 1, attendance. Please indicate by stating present if you are in attendance. Mary Jane Brown, present. Harry Emmett.
Present.
Steve Schmidt.
Present.
John Bamus.
Present.
Bob Hamilton.
Present.
Jane Panag.
Present.
Rebecca Smith. You're muted.
Present.
Thank you. We will now move to item 2, approval of the agenda. Do any members have items to be added to the agenda? There are none. May I will request a mover and a seconder to approve the agenda. Member Emmett and seconder, Member Schmidt. Can I please have your resolution?
Moved by myself, seconded by Member Schmidt, that the agenda for the County of Brant Committee of Adjustment meeting of January 15, 2026 be approved.
Thank you. Members, please indicate if you are in favor of the motion, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt.
Yes.
Member Bamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton.
Yes.
Member Panag.
Yes.
Member Smith.
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve tonight's agenda has carried. We'll now move to item 3. Are there any members who would like to declare a conflict of interest for any of the items on the agenda this evening? There are none. We'll now move to item 4, adoption of the minutes from the previous meeting, December 18th, 2025. Do any committee members have any errors or omissions to note? Can I have a mover and seconder on this item? Member Hamilton? Seconder? Member Vamus? I'll now call the vote. Can you please provide your motion?
Moved by myself, seconded by Member Vamus, that the minutes of the December 18th, 2025 meeting of the Committee of Adjustment be approved as printed.
Thank you. I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Penag?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to adopt the minutes from December 18th, 2025 has carried. We'll now start with item 5.1 for application B29 and A2125RF and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report and the recommendation.
Good evening, everyone. I'll be presenting consent application B29-25-RF for surplus farm dwelling severance and minor variance application A21-25-RF for an increase in maximum lot coverage for accessory structures at 209 13th Concession Road, submitted by Adam Moot on behalf of the owner. I'll present both applications separately just for clarity's sake. Staff is recommending approval of the applications, subject to the conditions outlined in the report. The subject lands are located south of 13th Concession Road, with a frontage of approximately 859 meters along 13th Concession Road and an area of approximately 77.8 hectares. The subject lands have one single detached dwelling, 2 large agricultural structures, 2 accessory structures, and some shipping containers that will be removed. There are natural heritage features on the property that include woodlands, wetlands, a water body, and a watercourse. The surrounding area is primarily farmland and natural heritage land uses, and the subject lands are currently serviced by private well and septic. The subject lands are located are designated as Agriculture and Natural Heritage System in the Official Plan 2023 and zoned agricultural and agricultural with site-specific A-1 and natural heritage. Consent application B29-25-RF proposes to sever a surplus farm dwelling with a frontage of approximately 42 meters and an area of approximately 0.8 hectares. The retained agricultural lands will be merged with an abutting farm operation and will have a frontage of approximately 817 meters and an area of 77 hectares. A zoning bylaw amendment will be required to remove the site-specific provision and to zone the natural heritage features and the buffer appropriately to reflect the severance. Through the circulation of commenting agencies and review of this application, it has been determined that the parcel or the severed parcel will retain the existing private well and septic, that the retained lands will be merged to an abutting farm operation and will continue to be farmed. The interconnection lanes between the retained and severed lands are to be removed or blocked off. This has been added as a condition of approval, as well as the site-specific zoning is to be removed through a subsequent zoning bylaw amendment. This has also been included in the conditions. Some key considerations for natural heritage features. The proposed severance was designed so that the natural heritage features stay on the retained parcel. The lot lines follow these features and reflect what's already there. This was confirmed through a site visit. A buffer is still required on the property, but because of the site's historical use and existing elements, the severance will not alter it, so the buffer will remain as is. The zoning update will make sure that the natural heritage features and the buffer are clearly zoned to show development limits. If I can bring your attention to the screen, you'll see that in picture 1, it shows the proposed lot lines in relation to the natural heritage features. And the second picture shows the natural heritage features and buffer in alignment with the proposed severance. Minor variance application A21-25-RF is seeking relief from the zoning bylaw 6116 to permit a maximum lot coverage of 7.5% for all accessory structures on the severed parcel, whereas a maximum of 5% is allowed. The application is required to retain one existing oversized accessory structure used for storage and 2 greenhouses used for personal use. Through the circulation of commenting agencies and review of this application, it has been determined that minor variance application meets the 4 tests as outlined in the Planning Act. The increase will not impact any agricultural lands or natural heritage features. One large agricultural structure will be removed along with the shipping containers, and any accessory structures proposed in the future will be subject to further minor variance applications. Notice of this application was circulated by mail on December 3rd, 2025 to all property owners within 60 meters of the subject lands in accordance with the Planning Act. A site visit was conducted on October 30th, and the public notice sign was posted on the property on December 3rd, 2025. No public comments have been received up to date. It is my professional opinion that the proposed consent application to sever 0.8 hectares for surplus farm dwelling and the minor variance for an increase in total lot coverage for all accessory structures to 7.5% are in conformity with the applicable planning policy, including the Planning Act, the Provincial Planning Statement, the County of Brant Official Plan, and Zoning Bylaw 6116, and therefore I am recommending that consent application B29-25-RF and minor variance application A21-25-RF be approved, subject to the conditions outlined in the report. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Roxana, for the presentation. Do any committee members have any questions on this, either of these applications? No questions? Then is the Member Smith, do you have any questions? Is the applicant or their agent present and wish to add? Okay, and which one are they? Okay.
Good evening, Madam Chair.
Do you wish to add to the staff report?
No, it is acceptable to us. I do want to make one minor note, though, that the owners, although it is Don Durham Farms, the owners are Jason Durham, who is with us tonight, along with his sister Lisa and his brother-in-law Sean Jackson. They are identified as Jason Durham and Zoom user. They are the controlling persons of Don Durham Farms. Don Durham is now deceased. So just want to make that a note.
Thank you. Do any committee members have questions to the applicants or the agent on either application? It appears there are none. I'll open the public portion of this meeting. I know there are no registered delegations. However, is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak to these applications? No? Then I will close the public portion of this application. Are there any final questions or comments to staff or the applicant and their agent? There are none, so I'll now request a mover, a member to provide a motion on, we'll do the severance first. We need two motions. Member Hamilton, can you please state your motion?
Moved by myself and seeking a seconder for application B29-25-RF to be approved with the conditions that have been provided.
And your reasons for your motion, your reason for your motion?
Because it follows the official plan of the County of Brant and the, also the 16, whatever it is. Yeah.
Provincial policy statement. Member Schmidt, you wish to second? I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Peneg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application B2925RF has carried. Would you like to provide your motion for the variance? Can you please state that?
Oh, okay. Moved by myself seeking a seconder for the minor variance application A21-25-RF to be approved because it fulfills all the four parts of a minor variance and it's minor in nature.
Thank you. You wish to second again? Member Schmidt seconds. I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes.
Member Schmidt?
Yes.
Member Vamus?
Yes.
Member Hamilton?
Yes.
Member Peneg?
Yes.
Member Smith?
Yes.
And Brown, yes. The motion to approve application A2125 has carried. Both applications are now approved. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. I will now introduce item 5.2 for application B3025RF and turn it over to staff for the presentation of the report.
I'll be presenting consent application B30-25-RF for an inadvertent merger at 75 Highway 53, submitted by Trevor Hawkins on behalf of the owner. Staff are recommending approval of this application, subject to the conditions outlined in the report. The subject lands are located south of Highway 53 with a frontage of 788 meters along Highway 53 and an area of approximately 57 hectares. The property contains a single detached dwelling and an agricultural structure. The surrounding area is farmland and natural heritage. The subject lands are currently serviced by a private well and septic system. The subject lands are designated as agricultural and natural heritage system under the official plan 2023 and zoned agricultural and natural heritage under the zoning bylaw 1661. Consent application B30-25-RF proposes to reestablish the original lot configuration of the parcels at 75 Highway 53, which unintentionally merged on title due to common ownership. The request is legal and technical in nature to follow the correction of title as a result of inadvertent merger. Through circulation to commenting agencies and review of this application, it's been determined that the reestablishment of the parcels reflect the original lot lines and comply with planning policies without creating any new lots. Each parcel will keep its existing agricultural use. The natural heritage features will be protected and maintained within the retained lands. And road widenings will be required on Highway 53 and Harley Road to align with the official plans right-of-way width of 20 to 45 meters and to allow for future road maintenance and improvements. No development has been proposed as part of this application. Notice of this application was circulated by mail on December 12, 2025, to all property owners within 60 meters of the subject lands in accordance with Section 45.5 of the Planning Act. A site visit was conducted on December 17, 2025, and the public notice sign was posted on the property on December 18, 2025. We had 2 neighbors reach out to us with questions about the application. We did respond promptly to both, and no further inquiries or comments have been received to date. It is my professional opinion that consent application to reestablish the parcels at 75 Highway 53 due to inadvertent merger is appropriate and legal and technical in nature, and therefore I am recommending that application B30-25-RF be approved, subject to the conditions. Thank you. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Roxana, for the presentation. Do any committee members have any questions on this? Member Hamilton, please go ahead.
Through the chair to staff, I was just looking, you say the zoning bylaw amendment will not be required to recognize undersized lots. Both of these pieces have now are less than 40 hectares. And I was wondering exactly what the thought process was as to why we did not go ahead and either commit them to undersized lots or put an A91 on it to, so no building can be done and it could be maintained for long-term agricultural.
Through Madam Chair to committee member, we did not apply a zoning bylaw amendment requirement because the parcels are going back to the original state. And therefore, they are still going to be agricultural, used for agricultural uses, and under the agricultural permissions or allowed uses, you are permitted to have a single detached dwelling on there. And that was our thought process for that.
Go ahead, Member Hamilton.
For a follow-up question to that, there are 2 houses on Highway 53 right in front of the lot for the ones on Harley Road, the corner. I don't know, and I know you won't know, were they are the original one and were severed off once upon a time 50 years ago?
Through Madam Chair to committee member, I do not know. We did ask that as part of the application and as part of the official plan policies that no severances on this lot have been done prior to coming in to reestablish the lots. And we did receive confirmation of sufficient information that we deemed it appropriate to reestablish the parcels to the original.
Okay, I guess I would just like a little clearer answer. Was it or was it not severed off at one time with that, all that information that you did receive that was not circulated?
Through Madam Chair to committee member, I am not certain, and I can definitely find out for you and get back to you on that.
Yeah, well, we're going to make a decision here right away, so I mean, I know you can't do it that quickly, but no, I'm just saying, were there any conditions put upon that if it was severed? We don't know if it was, but I'm sure there was, because that piece of land wouldn't have been there by itself without some building either being taken down from Concession 7 or Harley Road at one time.
Through Madam Chair to committee member, there is no condition, but if committee deems it appropriate to add a condition, then that would be.
Yeah, I'm not saying we need it. I'm looking just for clarification on it.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, we don't. We're not certain.
Thank you.
Member Emmett, please go ahead.
Well, through you to staff or someone, I'm with Member Hamilton the application that we just passed before this, we've allowed them to join the property to the adjoining property. Now, back when I was buying property, if I bought the adjoining property, it automatically became part of the, it was transferred to the other party, and the house was severed off and became a separate lot. Now, I'm wondering whether, have the rules in Brant County changed that we don't have to join the lots together when it's the same owner on both properties?
Through you, Madam Chair, I can try to tackle that one for you. I guess this application is reviewed under a different set of policies through the inadvertent merger review, where the parcels as they were merged inadvertently, and we're reestablishing them exactly as they were. The comments of, the surplus dwelling severance and requiring the parcel to be consolidated or not be consolidated, there is the current policies permit an option where the surplus dwelling can be severed off, and what we do with the retained farmlands can be consolidated with an abutting farm, or they can be rezoned with the A9 if they're going to remain a separate parcel under separate title. So there are two options, depending on the size of that farm parcel, which may require that parcel to be consolidated with an abutting farm or maintained as a separate parcel if no abutting farms are owned by the same farming operation, as long as they're kept in separate title.
So we'll follow up then with the severed property tonight, get the A9 zoning so that no future house could be built on it?
This evening, there's no condition to restrict residential uses on the proposed severed or retained lands, whichever parcel has no dwelling, simply because it's being reviewed as more of a technical process to reestablish those parcels as they were. So we're not proposing any restrictions for residential uses.
So it sounds like the rules have changed in the last 20 years then, as far as adjoining properties by the same owner.
Can I interject a follow-up question? So in looking at and I don't know which lot could have been, but if I give a summary of what the potential history was of this, it's number 53 and 51. So possibly this property at 75, and I think this is what these members are getting at, and what I was thinking too, the neighboring property was purchased where it had a house, and looking at those houses, since we're going back to how the land was in 1974 to 1976, I'm assuming one of those houses was built since. The land was purchased, one or both of those houses were severed off, and so it was put together. So if we're doing it under a provision only for legal and technical reasons, I believe what the members are getting at is what's preventing anyone from buying a property, they put it on, they sell the surplus house off, and then they say, well, we're going back to the original land. So my question would be, is this lot line of the lands to be severed fronting on 53 Harley Road and Concession 7 exactly how it was back in 1974-76?
At the time that they were inadvertently merged. That's what you're looking for?
Yes, so you're saying the houses there were prior to 1974 and severed off that parcel?
We don't.
That's what I'm trying to find out, if that's the history, because if we grant this severance this way, well, I think that opens up quite a few doors, especially when we're not putting an A9 zone on this severed parcel. Because as Roxana pointed out, you can build, right? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, you know, our planner has had a chance to review the information provided to her at this time. Also remind the committee that we have our agents with us this evening representing the landowner who may be able to provide a bit more insight to the history.
But these seem to be a common question for all of us. Then I'll ask, are there any more questions like this from committee members?
I'll wait for the agent.
Okay,
I've got another one I just need clarification on, so I'll wait for the agent
okay.
or the owner.
Okay, so then I'll ask, is the agent, I believe they are present? Oh, Member Smith has a question, sorry.
Third to the committee, and I'll wait for the agent as well, but maybe just a very quick comment. If we have questions about potential previous severances, it may have occurred before Planning Act consent. So I just want to put that out there as well, because it might be a case of they didn't have to come to the committee for approval. So it would have fallen under some different policies. So I'll maybe wait and ask the agent maybe more direct questions about that.
Okay, so you're suggesting that possibly 53 or 51 could have been severed prior to, okay. Okay, then I guess we'll ask is the agent?
Yep.
Chelsea?
Yep. Hi, I'm Chelsea Brooks. I'm a planner with MHBC. I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you.
So if you'd like to proceed with your question.
I'll let Member Hamilton proceed. He was the first to ask.
Thank you, Chair. Through the chair to the applicant's agent. My understanding right now is this piece of property, or the two pieces that we're getting to separate, are now owned by Chris Martin or 1778206 Ontario Inc. Is that correct?
That's correct.
My question then, when was this purchased? We're talking 50 years ago, this happened. When was the actual purchase of this land approximately? I don't need exact.
I know it was rather, I know that the original landowner has since passed away, and that the purchase was relatively recent. I was just trying to pull up that history for you, and I can get to that. Sorry.
Okay, as you're looking, the
Yep.
real question I have, when Chris Martin's limited company bought this land, did they buy two separate pieces or did they buy one piece?
So they would have bought the current lot, which is one piece, and they're seeking to reestablish the two parcels that were inadvertently merged.
Okay, the owner, previous owner who's passed, which we can't ask, he had allowed that to go together, and it was probably, he farmed it for 35 years before Mr. Martin come along. So why does Mr. Martin want to sever when he's a large farmer that loves big fields, and this here seems abnormal to normal agricultural practices?
First, I'd like to say, I mean, it may not be the case that the previous owner just opted to let it, merge. I believe in Roxana's report, she spoke about how the lands were originally registered under the registry system. And then when it was converted to the land title system, it was created under common ownership. So sometimes that's something you don't actually, you're not aware of until you look at the land title when that happens. So it may not be something that they intended to happen and that they were deemed acceptable. As for why my client might wish to retain these or to have these two parcels separated, it could be, future plans to sell to another farmer. Like these are options that he could have, and certainly a reason why someone might want to have that and maintain that. But I can't speak further to that. That would be just my guess. Yeah, and then I would just speak to, I know it was a question as to why the A9 exception would not be applied here, and it's because that exception is a requirement under the PPS and the County of Brant's official plan for surplus farm dwelling severances, which is not the application before you tonight. And this would just be a legal severance, sorry.
Thank you. Member Smith has a question for you. Please go ahead.
More of a comment. It's okay sometimes to say it inadvertently merged under common ownership, but that was under the previous owner. The current owner purchased it knowing it was one parcel. So I'm really struggling to understand how you can claim it inadvertently merged on title when it was the previous owner's title. So I will just leave that. Yeah, maybe if there's a comment back from staff on that, or from the, applicant.
I believe Dan is.
Yeah, through you, Madam Chair, I would agree with Member Smith's comment in the sense that this type of application is intended to be very technical and more straightforward, establishing two things as they were. And there's a bit of lack of direction in policy with how the details are sorted through in terms of timing and who it inadvertently merged under what ownership. So certainly this is a good example for the committee to discuss and make a decision, any additional conditions as appropriate, but I'll leave it at that.
I believe Member Emmett had a question or comment. No? Member Vamus, do you? No? Member Panag? My thoughts are that, in keeping with Member Smith's, that I believe when we've done these reestablishment for legal technical reasons, it's always under the current owner who is maybe planning a change in use or going back for some reason, maybe estate planning, something like that. There's always been a reason why to apply that provision under the current ownership. And my feeling is that if these lot lines are not exact as to how they were in 1974 to 76, say the lot line went further heading east on Highway 53 and encompassed number 53 and 51, then technically we're violating the provision because we're not reestablishing the exact lot line. And also I noted when I looked at it and looked at the corner there with Harley Road, was that would have been removed. So I'm thinking of going way back to the 70s, that lot line would have continued all the way down to the corner of Harley Road.
Yeah, the triangle, the corner triangle.
Yes. So then, are there any further comments or questions, or would the applicant like to respond to those comments?
Sure. So the concern is that there was potentially a previous severance of that area of the property
Yes.
with the dwellings. I can only speak to this current lot pattern and the reestablishment of that previous lot line dividing those two. That area is not kind of party to the current lot. So this current application does not really apply to that, I would say. Yeah. I don't see, I was looking at the land register and I just don't see any previous transfers of a portion. or dates for that. So I can't speak further on it.
Well, I believe some of the members also questioned the use of the A9 zone because there is a potential to put a dwelling on it, then sever it as surplus, and then bring this land back to the original state.
I see. I guess I just would reiterate that we're not really further fragmenting the land from what was historically there. We're not changing the agricultural use. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's my opinion that we're not kind of further fragmenting the agricultural landscape and causing further issue with that respect. And I believe staff can correct me on this one, but that for surplus farm dwelling severances, I believe the dwelling has to be built for a certain amount of time before that is possible. So if the concern is that they might build a home on the reestablished lot and then promptly sever it, I don't believe that's something they can do under the current policy framework, but staff could comment further on that.
Is that a possibility?
Through Madam Chair. So right now, the policy does say that a house does have to be there for a certain amount of time, and it has to meet other policies as well. Further to that, I just want to add that there are going to be some amendments to the official plan, and might fall into this application later on, but as of today, there are certain years that you have to meet in order to sever for surplus farm dwelling.
Member Hamilton has a question.
Thank you. Through the chair to staff, we are currently looking at agricultural land on a road that is fairly well traveled. If we just got Harley down one way and we got Burford down the other, my understanding is this is not in a settlement area currently, but could it be in the future or a rural residential area?
Through Madam Chair to committee member, with the new adoption of the official plan, these lands are designated agricultural, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Dan could correct me if I'm wrong, but as of now, there's designated agricultural, so I don't foresee
But you were
any
talking
changes.
about future changes coming to the official plan. I'm
Just
asking,
amendments,
is that
yeah.
possibly one of them?
No, it's not.
So no place in the county of Brant, that'll change?
Sorry?
No place in the county of Brant, that'll change? If it's agriculture, it stays? There won't be additional areas that become rural residential, i.e. if we took Blue Line Road or things like that that have over the years popped up?
Madam Chair, as of right now, the designations are what they are. If anything, I would say that any zoned properties will align to the official plan.
Thank you.
So are there any other comments or questions in this portion of the application? Then I'll open the public portion of this application. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to speak to it? Yes, can you come to the podium and provide your name, please?
Hi there. My name is Selena Hargreaves. My husband and I, Tim, live at the property at 53 Highway 53. Just to clarify, we've owned the property there since 2002. I believe the original home that we bought was built in 1970 by a fellow named Ken Racher. I think there was at least one owner between him building the house and us getting the house, but there could be more, I'm just not clear. And at that time, I don't know about the severance either, if it was attached to that property previously.
Okay. Are there any comments or questions from committee members? So is there anything you wish to add?
Just our concern with, as with the committee members, about the future plans for the property, if there was development coming down in the future. We were just wanted to be aware if that was the plan, but
And you stated you lived there since 2002?
2002, yeah.
Okay, and the house you know was built in 1970?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
No,
thank you.
okay, thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to speak to it? Then I will close the public portion of the application. Then I'll ask committee members, are there any final questions or comments to staff or the agent? Or any discussion among the committee members on this? I'll point out that based on what I've experienced over the past many years, that the application of a correction of legal and technical in nature, I believe, has always been, when we've applied it to the current owner. We haven't had a property sold, and correct me if I'm wrong, and then we try to reestablish after it is sold. Because as some have pointed out, the purchase was made for one parcel. So is there a suggestion, maybe modify the conditions, or if so, is anyone ready to make a motion on this, or? Member Smith, do you have any further comments, or you wish to make a motion? No motion? Then maybe a motion to defer to try and obtain more history? So would someone like to make a motion to defer the application? Member Panag?
Listening to all the arguments, I'd like to make a motion that we defer the application and do put more conditions, and this
So
will be,
your reason to defer would be what? Do you have a specific reason?
it is complicated because why, when it's one parcel, now they want to separate them for 50 years. So I think there should be more thorough study on it, on the planning, and we'll listen to the application again.
Thank you. Is there a seconder to support that motion? Member Vamus? I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
This motion's to defer, correct?
It's a motion just to defer so we can get
More
more
information.
history on the property.
Agreed?
You agree? Yes? Could you give a timeline as to when you would like to see it back? State how many?
Couple of months.
3 months max?
Yes.
Okay. So you'll second that to support it? I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett,
Yes?
Member Schmidt,
Yes.
Member Vamus,
Yes.
Member Hamilton,
Yes.
Member Panag,
Yes.
and Member Smith,
No.
and Brown, yes. The motion to defer the application for no more than 3 months has been approved by the committee. I'll just note again that item 5.3 has been deferred to a future date. We will now move to item 6.1 for a date change for March 2026 meeting. We are trying to reschedule the March 2026 meeting from March 19th to March 12th due to the March break and related impacts on staff, committee, and public availability. So can I have a motion for that? To change the meeting date?
Can you repeat that again, please?
What was it the
For
exact
item
dates?
6, we are trying to change the meeting date for our March meeting from March 19th to March 12th.
Because that's when the kids are out of school. It would have been the 19th, they want to go to the 12th.
You'll have them, you're making a motion, Member Emmett, to support, and Member Schmidt will second it. I'll now call the vote, starting with Member Emmett.
Yes?
Member Schmidt,
Yes.
Member Vamus.
Yes.
Member Hamilton,
Yes.
Member Penag.
Yes.
And Member Smith,
Yes.
and Brown, yes. The motion to change the March meeting date from March 19th to March 12th has carried. We will now change our calendar for that. The next meeting is scheduled to be February 12th, 2026, and again will be a hybrid meeting starting at 6 p.m. May I please, do you have a comment? No. You want to make the motion to adjourn?
Just a comment, we're usually the third Thursday, correct? The 12th is the second Thursday in February. Was that changed since we set our meeting dates before?
I'll look at the calendar.
I can't remember, but I'm fine with the 12th because I won't be here the 19th, so.
Actually, you're right. The February 12th is the second Thursday, but the calendar here is showing February 19th. So this is just a minor, yeah, it's a typo.
Well, I'm happy with the 12th, but anyway, I
Okay.
won't be here for the 19th. That's
Okay. So then may I get a motion to adjourn this meeting? Member Emmett, is there a seconder? Member Hamilton? All in favor, raise your hand. Yes. And Member Smith has acknowledged yes. I now declare the meeting